Okay, hello everybody out there in YouTube and Facebook land and all that internet stuff out there. Um, as we continue our battle for the greatest rock band of all times, we uh, we had a battle between ACDC and Aerosmith, and some of you took Aerosmith because, of course, Aerosmith was a local Boston band. So, of course, you're going to lean towards Aerosmith. But the thing about me is I listen to every song. I've heard every song from Aerosmith. I've heard every song from ACDC. I'm not partial to where they're from. I go by the music. So, the next battle is, of course, so I chose ACDC over Aerosmith. And if you watch my other video, you'll see why. Now this big battle, folks. This is a big, heavy-duty battle here. This is George Foreman and Joe Frazier. You know what I'm talking about? So this is ACDC, who's at the top right now, but they're going against Paul Rogers and Bad Company. They're going against Brian Howe of Bad Company. They're going against Robert Hart of Bad Company. So this didn't take me super long. I mean, you know, I looked pre ACDC. They had bands like Gordy. I think Brian Johnson had a band called Gordy. They had a band called Masters Apprentices. They had a band called A to Z. This was all pre ACDC. And then I looked at Bad Company's pre years, Free. I mean, blew ACDC away out of the waters. Free is their own band in themselves. That's how good they were. So that definitely favored Bad Company. But then I really listened to ACDC, all their songs. I listened to Bad Company with Paul Rogers. In my day, back in the 70s and 80s, I was Bad Company with Paul Rogers all the way. Um, Then I listened to Brian Howe when he joined Bad Company in 1986 up to 1994, and I was impressed. I was impressed how it's very hard to replace Paul Rogers, the epitome of rock and roll. You know what I mean? Paul Rogers has been around. I mean, so when Brian Howe joined the band in 1986, I was impressed at his style. You know, it wasn't nothing fancy, but the music was good. I really enjoyed Bad Company after the years of Paul Rogers. Um, so ACDC, I give ACDC credit. They didn't turn to pop or glam, or they stuck to their roots, and I give ACDC that credit. They also did a great transition from Bon Scott to Brian Johnson. Excellent job. The style changed a little bit, but it was still good rock and roll from ACDC. And ACDC ended their careers playing rock and roll, and I give ACDC that. Um, Bad Company, when they came out with their debut album, we all know, all of you around my age, back in the 70s, um, when Bad Company came out with their debut album, good album. I mean, you had Seagull, you had Feel Like Making Love, you had Bad Company, you had Moving On, good tunes. Then they came out with their second album, which I believe was Straight Shooter. Outstanding album. When I heard Shooting Star and Deal with the Preacher and Wildfire Woman, I was like, wow, this band is good. And then, Running with the Pack came out. Excellent. Sweet Little Sister, Simple Man, Do Right by Your Woman. Excellent, excellent album. then Burning Sky, Desolation Angels. They were stayed consistent. They stayed. Bad Company stayed very consistent with Paul Rogers. Then when Brian Howe came up, I didn't know much about Brian Howe. I didn't know much about the Bad Company after Paul Rogers. So I checked them out. I listened to every song they played. I was impressed. They rocked and rolled. I was really impressed with Brian Howe. I mean, is he Paul Rogers? No, but they kept the roots. They played some good rock and roll, and I was impressed. Um, and then Robert Hart, 1994 to 1998, good, not bad at all. I really enjoyed who what they sound and what they did for the band Bad Company. So, who was better, Bad Company or ACDC? It didn't take me too long, to look at the whole scenario, every song. Remember, not every song was good by Bad Company, not every song was good by ACDC. I look at the consistency. I look at who's in the band, who they were before they became ACDC or Bad Company. You got to look at all these things. You look at everything. Who really had more of a passion for music? Who was serious about the music? Did they veer off because of their manager or because of the peer pressures of the media? So ACDC against Bad Company, I am going with Bad Company. You know it. Bad Company takes the lead. So we got we had ACDC, Aerosmith, and Bad Company. Out of those three, I choose Bad Company because you don't mess with Bad Company. So tell me what you think on the comments. But I really analyzed and studied ACDC. I analyzed and studied Bad Company, and Bad Company definitely was better than ACDC. So tell me what you think. And of course, round number 3 is going to be Bad Company against, yes, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. And that's going to be round number 3. The wife's already over there going, wah, 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 wah. But don't be deceived. Black Sabbath was better than a lot of people think. I know they label Black Sabbath as heavy metal. To me, rock and roll is rock and roll. So we're pitting Bad Company against Black Sabbath. That'll be round number 3. Ronnie James Dio and Ian Gillan. So let the battle continue. We'll talk to you later.